You ever walk into a room feeling completely fine and walk out feeling like someone unplugged your soul? Like you were literally okay. You had your little playlist, your little iced coffee, your little today I'm going to be productive delusion. Then you meet one person, one, and they're tense or irritated or sad in that quiet way, and suddenly your chest feels tight. Your energy drops. Your brain starts overthinking. You start talking softer. You start acting careful. By the time you leave, you're moody too. And you're like, wait, was I even sad or did I just catch sadness like it's seasonal flu? If this happens to you a lot, welcome to one of the most confusing human experiences ever: emotional absorption. It's when someone else's mood becomes yours, even if they didn't say anything, even if nothing happened, even if you promised yourself you wouldn't let it affect you. And the worst part is you start feeling guilty, like, why am I like this? Why can't I just be normal and not care? But here's the truth. You're not too sensitive. You're not weak. You're not dramatic. Your brain is doing something it was literally designed to do. It's just doing it a little too well. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine, let's call her Mia, was the kind of person everyone loved having around. She was funny, warm, emotionally intelligent, always there for people. The type who could tell you were upset before you even knew you were upset. Sounds like a superpower, right? Until it wasn't. Because Mia started noticing this pattern. She'd hang out with someone who was stressed and suddenly she couldn't breathe right. Someone was angry and she'd feel anxious for hours. Someone was sad and her whole day would get heavy. And she kept saying the same thing. I feel like I'm carrying emotions that aren't mine. One day she said something that honestly hit hard. I don't have my own mood. I have whatever mood the room has. If you relate to that, this video is basically your autobiography. So why does this happen? There are a few layers to it, and some of them are actually kind of beautiful, and some of them are trauma-flavored. First layer, humans are built to sync. Your nervous system is not just inside you, it's social. It reads people automatically. Tone of voice, facial expressions, micro changes in posture, breathing, energy. This is how babies survive. Babies can't feed themselves, protect themselves, or explain what's wrong, so their brains are wired to track caregivers. Are you safe? Are you calm? Are you angry? Are you leaving me? That wiring doesn't disappear when you grow up. It just becomes more subtle. So when someone near you is upset, your brain picks it up like a Wi-Fi signal. It's not spiritual, it's biological. Your body goes, something's off, pay attention. And for some people, that signal is louder. Second layer, mirror neurons and emotional contagion. Basically, your brain has these systems that help you feel into other people so you can understand them. It's why you yawn when someone yawns. It's why you cringe when someone gets embarrassed. It's why you feel tense watching a scary movie even though you're sitting safely on your couch. Your brain simulates what it sees. That's empathy. But when empathy has no boundaries, it turns into emotional takeover. You don't just understand their mood, you absorb it. Even if they didn't say anything, even if nothing happened, even if you promised yourself you wouldn't let it affect you. And now the third layer, high sensitivity. Some people are naturally more sensitive to stimulation, noise, lights, chaos, emotional intensity. They process deeper, they notice more. Their brains pick up patterns quickly. In a chaotic environment, this makes you intuitive, creative, good at reading people. In a chaotic environment, this makes you exhausted because you're taking in everyone's emotional background music all day. So if you're the type who gets drained in crowds, needs alone time to reset, or feels overwhelmed by intense people, yeah, that sensitivity is probably part of why other people's moods stick to you. Now the fourth layer, and this one is the reason it becomes a problem: conditioning. A lot of people who absorb moods learned early that emotions in the room were something they had to manage. Maybe you grew up around the parent who was unpredictable. Their mood decided the whole atmosphere. If they were angry, everyone walked on eggshells. If they were sad, you felt responsible to cheer them up. If they were stressed, you had to be good, so you didn't add to it. So your nervous system learned, other people's emotions are my job. You became hyper-aware, hyper-attuned. You learned to read microsignals like a survival skill. And it worked. It kept you safe. It kept the peace. But now, as an adult, it can feel like you have no emotional skin, like you can't tell where you end and other people begin. That's not because you're broken. That's because you were trained for emotional monitoring. Now let's talk about people-pleasing, because it's basically the side quest of this whole thing. When you're a people pleaser, other people's moods become your report card. If someone is unhappy, your body interprets it as, I failed. So you try to fix it. You adjust your tone, you shrink, you over-explain, you apologize for things you didn't do. You become the emotional customer service representative for everyone's feelings. And you do all of this automatically. So when someone is moody, you don't just notice it, you internalize it. Now here's the part where I gently call you out with love. Sometimes absorbing people's moods is also a form of control, not in a villain way, in a nervous system way. Because if you can predict someone's mood, you can prepare. If you can feel what they're feeling, you can prevent conflict, prevent rejection, prevent discomfort. So your brain tries to merge with the room to stay ahead of the threat. And that merging feels like empathy, but it's actually anxiety wearing empathy's outfit. So how do you stop other people's moods becoming yours? You don't become cold, you don't shut off empathy, you don't turn into a robot. You build a boundary, and boundaries start with one skill, separating. Here's a simple question to ask the moment you feel your mood shift. Is this mine? Literally pause and ask, is this my emotion or did I pick it up? Even that tiny question creates distance. It reminds your brain we are two separate nervous systems. Then do a quick body check. Where do I feel this emotion in my body? Is it my usual pattern or did it appear suddenly after I entered this space? If it appeared suddenly, it's probably not yours. Next, label what you're sensing without absorbing it. Instead of I'm anxious, try there's anxiety in the room. Instead of I'm sad, try someone here is sad. This sounds small, but it changes everything. You can notice a weather system without becoming the weather. Now let's get practical with a tiny reset you can do in real life. If you're around someone moody and you feel yourself absorbing it, do this. Press your feet into the ground for 5 seconds. Exhale slowly. Relax your shoulders and silently say, I can care without carrying. That phrase isn't cheesy. It's a boundary reminder because you can care without taking ownership. And if you feel brave, you can also do something even more powerful. Name the dynamic out loud, not in an accusing way, just in a grounded way. Hey, I'm picking up that something feels off. Do you want to talk about it or do you need space? This does two things. It stops your brain from guessing, and it places responsibility back where it belongs. Because if someone's mood is affecting the room, it's okay to acknowledge it. You don't have to silently absorb and suffer. And finally, the biggest long-term fix. Build your own emotional anchor. People who absorb moods often don't have a strong home base inside them. Not because they're weak, but because they spent years focusing outwards. So you practice coming back to you. What do I feel right now? What do I need right now? What's my energy level? What's my boundary? The more you build that internal awareness, the less you get swept away by other people's waves. Because your sensitivity isn't the enemy. Unfiltered sensitivity is. And when you learn how to filter, how to stay compassionate without merging, you don't lose your empathy. You finally get to keep your own mood. So if other people's mood becomes yours, you're not broken. You're tuned in. Now the goal isn't to turn that off. The goal is to add boundaries so you can be emotionally intelligent without emotionally exhausted. Because you were never meant to carry the room. You were meant to exist in it.